Hello everyone, welcome for another video of Love and War Games. Today we are going to make a massive video to cover all the changes for Conquest, the last argument of Kings. There's been an update that should be released as I release this video, and there are many things that changed. Now, more than ever, you're going to need the timestamps if you want to skip to your army or your armies, plural. If you don't want to watch everything, because we're really going to go into the detail, should be released just today as I get this video out. I got this document in advance from Parabellum, so thank you very much. It's quite unusual that we do have rules in advance so we can prepare a video. Only been a couple days of preparation, but it's still very good. So thank you, guys. And now, without any further ado, let's dive right into it because you know all the YouTube buttons. If you like stuff, use our promo code. So let's get into it. It's going to be a very long video for sure. Now, let's start with a general rules change because some stuff has changed for all the armies, and we will see that it's quite interesting and quite massive. One of the biggest one is for sure the change to Aura of Death. As you can see, the main thing is that it is again a value per stand and not per regiment. That is great, I think. Although this was way too powerful before. You will remember like Old Dominion back in the days doing like we forgot how many, like 24 automatic hits when you activate next to them, so they could just move charge or move charge and just obliterate something. Now it is again post nerf per stand. However, it is limited in the sense that you can only have +4 hits per stand, and not +6 or +8 or whatever it was before. And that is a fair thing. There's been lots of old Dominion changes that we will talk about, but it does mean that if I want to play Flame Berserkers for my Dweghoms, for example, I do feel like okay, I don't mind paying extra for a couple more stands because yes, they will do something, and it doesn't push us to you to play MSU anymore. So yeah, basically, Aura of Death again with each stand contributing, which means you will also lose Aura of Death power as your stay classes and stuff. I think it's a great change, and this is how it should have been. It was an emergency nerf what they did, and now hopefully it's going to be balanced again. But I think they really were careful with that. They also boosted the penalties that you receive if you get attacked in the rear. I don't. In the designer's note, they say sometimes it was better to charge on the flank than in the rear. I'm not sure how it was. I missed this interaction. But yeah, basically on the flank, you must still always reroll successful moral roll, so it's not great, but you know. Now, if you get attacked in the rear, you automatically fail all moral tests. Like there is not even a roll; it's just straight up damage. So it doubles the damage that you receive, except if you're immune, like goddamn old Dominion. So that is quite quite punitive. It's very rare that you can actually charge in the rear, except if you have Old Dominion teleportation or stuff. But still, very very good, very very scary now. That is a good change, I believe. Iron Discipline. Well, we can see that they just updated this to say like you never automatically fail from the regiment's rear. They just update the Iron Discipline, which is a great rule to adapt to that. We now have the rule condensed propellant, which I think was the rule for, yeah, they say like war chariot. Trebuchet had it. I didn't see it yet. But yeah, few units had condensed propellant, which means that you can choose it at full length without any penalty. And that's basically just being renamed Longshock. Like they condense special rules under one name, so it's easier to talk about. Good. Combat reform, still something very complicated, as we've seen from the previous tournament report that we've shown. It's a difficult thing. I'm wondering if they updated after this really big question we had during a very specific thing during the WTC tournament when we were like, can you make a combat reform? It was very difficult. Like, look at the combat reform tournament report if you want to see. But now they specified, and now they do explain that you can do it to prevent some gotcha moment that could have happened before. They specify for loose formation that now you cannot inflict impact attacks when you have loose formation, which is good. I think they just clarify this. Spell casting out of combat. They just clarify all the spells. We'll see how we spend, but sure. Some clarification in the wood allocation. Um, just some little details, some clarification. and preventing, like, yeah, like as you can see here, they add things like this is not very impactful. It's just like some little tricks that they clean. Let's not spend too much time, otherwise the video is going to be 5 hours long. There is like 80 pages of the PDF. They also have some rules called below starting strength. We'll see how it is impacted later on. Basically means that you received damages. They added the always active part of inside the core rulebook. Sure, it was there for a while. It's clean. There is a new rule though that is interesting. It's it's basically the Blood on Angels rule. It means that when you make a charge, you get +1 attack if you have the Fury special rule. And yeah, that is going to be interesting. We're going to see who gets it. But let's remember, new rule, Fury, when you charge, +1 attack, which is, well, depends on who gets that, but can be significant, especially if you have high quality, low volume of attack. Another new special rule, which is brittle, which means you're very much like fragile. And they did this to make facing the Old Dominion feel fair. We will see how this changed specifically a little bit later on. We'll talk about the Old Dominion, which changed massively. But yeah, basically, when you make a defense roll from being charged, from getting impacts, from a clash and stuff, two results counts as fail if you got it from the flank, and twice as many, so four, if you get attacked from the rear, which means that there is some bonus to flank or rear flank Old Dominion, because again, they were immune to morale, so they were like, yeah, sure, flank me or rear charge me, I don't care, doesn't change anything to me. Now you do get some more damage, some more firepower if you flank them or if you rear flank them. Another special rule is Rage that apparently is only on the Berserk. We'll see if we can see it another place. But if you are below starting strength, just one wound, remember, you get +1 to your clash and attack characteristic, which is funny. I really like it because in terms of fluff, okay, it's fine. Like is Berserk, they get damage, they get more damage, and okay, sure, fluff. But it also means that if you're the opposing player to the Nords, you really need to think: do I want to shoot my little guns at them and a volley of archers? Because maybe I'm gonna make a couple wounds, maybe even a stand. Um, good luck for a stand with a militia bowman, but do I really want to just tickle them, knowing that it's gonna give them such huge bonus? So it is a great defense against magic and volley and stuff if it is low volume and low quality. You basically you're immune to small arms fire because the enemy will absolutely not want to just tickle you and give you +1 clash and +1 attack, which boosts you so much. So that is actually amazing. I love it. New special rule, Trial of Will. When you perform a clash action, you may choose to perform a characteristic test against the enemy's modified result characteristic, so you get -1 because you're scary, instead of defense or evasion characteristic. That is interesting. So you can just basically make them scared instead of their defense. So if they have very low resolve because of the debuffs you get and stuff, and high defense or high evasion, which is the word, like high evasion, you can say like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna scare you. It's interesting. Remember that it has terrifying X, so you reduce their defense, like their resolve, and if it does not have a resolve, it suffers -1 to its defense characteristic. That is great. Means whichever the target is going to be great. If the enemy has huge resolve, like you're fighting against, I don't know, Flame Berserks again, huge resolve, low defense, yeah, you don't not gonna do that. However, it's gonna be great against many enemies, and if he does not have resolve against all Dominion Mirror Match or some, I don't know, automatons from the city states, -1 defense flat. Great. This is the Theocrator supremacy. We did guess it was gonna be Theocrator, but yeah, interesting. They did update some stuff about the terrains. Obscuring is not called cover, just a change of the name. Sure, I guess it's to clarify it. They removed the broken ground zonal terrain. Uh, I am absolutely fine. Less how many times in tournaments? What? Okay, what exactly does this terrain do? Is it dangerous? Is it obscure? Like removing this and clarifying cover is great. So they update a couple things. Name adjustment, adjustment to clarify with rear attack with Indomitable. We remembered, we've seen it just before. Indomitable basically meant that you treat X failed success as X failed roll as a success. We remember, and basically just the special rule applies on rear attack. Special rule adjustment, arcing fire, just clarifying interaction with rear attacks. Okay, let's not spend too much time. If you can shoot someone with volley actions in their rear, I mean, you deserve some bonus. And we arrive to our first faction. So we've seen the general changes. Now let's deep dive onto every single faction. And we start with 100 kingdoms. I got my little army builder right there so we can check the comparisons if we need to. And let's dive right in. Little notes, we use this faction on Kingdoms as our main benchmark during testing of the everything, okay? Because it's the basic faction, like it is a vanilla faction. We try to reflect our love for horses and underused regiment without too many changes because they were already doing good, the 100 Kingdoms. I cannot say that it was an order. Let's see. They changed rapid deployment, which was, I think it was the imperial agent, the imperial lord, what was his name? Imperial officer that gave this, sure. And now you can choose either two friendly Imperial infantry regiment or one friendly non-Imperial infantry regiment. So good. If you have an Imperial subfaction, you don't feel obliged to bring so many Imperial forces because you can choose a non-Imperial infantry regiment. I think it's good. I think it's nice. Not without a drawback, that is. Yeah, okay. So you can do this. It's just like it's not perfect if you use it on non Imperial infantry, but you can still do this. And I think a large block of household guards with all the bonuses is going to be nice, even though you could do the same with Gilded Legion. Combat maneuver. Who had this? Was it our friend, the Imperial officer, who has combat maneuver? Nope. He does have combat maneuver. God damn. I'm blind. So it used to be friendly veteran may make a free reform when you active this, okay, and they gain opportunist, so it's like very flanking and stuff. Now they gain the fluid formation and opportunist. While we understand that it feels good to charge enemy regiment on the other side of the battlefield, your opponent definitely does not share that opinion. Yeah, free reform is strong. Fluid formation is a little bit less strong, and yeah, and you still get opportunities. So, okay, a little bit less maneuverability. They reduce the cost of the Mountain Noble Lord from 120 to 105. This is massive. This is huge. It used to be 120 indeed. They apparently it was too expensive. 15 points drop. It's not insignificant. It's like a free relic you can get on top, or it's very convenient. Okay, very good for the 100 Kingdoms players. Also, they reduced the no. Okay, armor of Dominion. I thought it was dropped in cost. It is insane. I don't understand how it's only 50 points. Uh, Armor of Dominion, if I can get it's a relic, basically means that you ignore cleave, ignore piercing, ignore smite. It is insanely good. Like we do have something similar in Dweghoms, and it's not as good as that. And it's infantry character only. Sure, it's fine. I think it is the best relic in the game. Like, and it costed only 30 points before. It is insane. Even if 50 points, I think it's still a steal. You do need to build around to make a huge block to benefit from this, but yeah, plus 20 points absolutely deserved. Tip of the lance, reduced from 25 to 35. It's an artifact, tip of the lance. Is it not an artifact? Okay, there it was. Tip of the lance, its mastery means that the veteran cavalry regiment gains the wedge special rule, which means you get +1 cleave if you charge. Okay, and they reduce the cost. Sure, we like cavalry. Good guys. The veteran from the Imperial Ranger Corps, they 5 points less. Sure, that's fine. Also reduce the cost of the Null Mage, which we didn't see before. The range for the Longbowman was reduced from 20 to like 220 from 22 inches, so a little bit less range, and they reduced the cost. Okay, that's fine, I think. Militia Bowman cost increased to 90 from 80. I understand, and they reduced the range as well. Sure, and they increased the volley characteristic to 2 from 1. Okay, so they are more expensive, less range. However, they double their volley characteristic. This is huge. Volley of 1 means it basically did nothing ever. Now you do have to get them a little bit closer, and they're not just the cheapest unit in the game as a target, but they will do things. Okay, interesting. I think indeed they might get some militia bowmen now on the table. Household guard is cheaper somehow. How? Yeah, I do believe it was, especially with a relic. Like you do pay less for your relic of the armor of Dominion, but you gain 10 points less on the household guard, so it's only +10 for the combo as a whole. Okay, sure. Makes you want to maybe to put household guard without the armor of Dominion super combo. Sure. The Order of the Crimson Tower gains Fury. Okay, in Fury, remember when they charge +1 attack. So let's have a look at their little stat lines. Order of the Crimson Tower. They do have 5 attacks, and now when they charge, they get 6 attacks per guy. And yeah, now 310, but 6 attacks at a Clash 4 when they charge. They're gonna get Brutal Impact, of course, Terrifying. Okay, sure. And Wedge. So +1 cleave. It's gonna be a big charge. Okay, great. Trebuchet, new regiment, see it in the army list. The challenge for game designers and your opponents alike. I will see the Trebuchet later. I maybe will receive it. I will make a full thing. But basically, you have few attacks, and you can either, well, you see there is a lot of rules. Basically, you target the enemy, and the more regiments they are, the more you make damage. It's very cute. Takes some time to come into the table. It's very interesting. But we'll talk about it in detail. It's a whole new thing, and otherwise, it's going to take too long. Men at Arms, cost per stand increased to 35 from 30. Good. Were people making huge blocks of Men at Arms? I have not seen that. Sure. But yeah, 30 points per stand. It's extremely cheap. Okay, okay, I understand why they did that. You can make a massive, like 12, 15 stands block very easily. And if you put an armor of Dominion with that, well, okay, I maybe was a little too efficient. I see that. Syntax update on all the spells. So, okay, they aligned the range for all the spells. Okay, sure, cute. That's it for the 100 Kingdoms. Not many changes. I think they got a buff overall. And they buffed a lot of underused units. The Relic that was completely OP got a little points nerf, but the Household Guard got cheaper, so that's fine. But it's cute. They boosted many things that were too weak, and they nerfed slightly a couple of things. Happy of what they did with the 100 Kingdoms. Let's continue with the Spires. Designer's note. It's a faction that we reworked recently. They wanted to make a few tweaks to make your biomass even happier and more appealing. I hope they nerfed a couple things, especially, well, you've seen what everybody was playing, the Desolation artillery beasts in the tournament. Hopefully this got reined in a little bit. Okay, for the observation pool, you had a token. You can only have a maximum of 4 instead of 3 tokens. Sure, sure. A little boost. Lamp to the Slaughter. Okay, you gain Fury and Fearless to the regiment that you're attached to. So Avatar. Okay, okay. Is it a bonus? Like they didn't have this at all? The Avatar? I know, it's not possible. Okay, let's go to check our friend the Spires, but this sounds like a huge boost. Yeah, the Lineage Highborn. Okay, they just give it a passive that gives Fearless and Fury to your regiment. Sure, it was not strong enough yet. But okay, okay, I understand it was not the craziest thing for the Spires. The Sovereign Lineage, if you perform against an enemy that is below starting strength, all friendly us get this. Okay, so they use the below starting strength thing. You need to weaken them a bit before you get all your bonuses. Sure. Rule standardization for the names, like long shot instead of okay. Small buff for designate target, which is a thing. Okay, so it's you don't get +2 charge and roll fail heroes during your charge. You also gain this for your clash action. Little buff, cute. You get a new thing for your mimetic assassin, which is assassination directive, clarification and small adjustment. Okay, so it's basically almost the same. It's a huge block of text, but it's clarification. It shouldn't change the balance at all. Lineage Highborn is cheaper. Is it? Is it? Okay. I felt it was good. The Lineage Highborn. I almost started Spire's army because of this guy. And now he's got Fearless on his regiment and Fury, and it's cheaper. And okay, good that they give them. And the Lineage Highborn as well got cheaper. Okay, good for you, Spire's player. The catabolic node got reduced to 20 points from 30. Okay, this I understand. It was a bit expensive for what it did. Degenerative aura makes it what? When you suffer rune from decay. Yeah. Okay, isn't it? Okay, it's okay. It's lesser conditions. Cute. Reprocessing agent, minor wording fix. Fine, guys. Onslaught drones got cheaper as a base regiment, and they gain unstoppable. Nice. Let's have a look at their stat line, but unstoppable on those guys. Onslaught drones, where are you guys? So you get a little bit cheaper, that is fine, but unstoppable rerolling charges for those guys, which are only movement 5, and when they hit, it's fine. They have a draw event that, okay, it doesn't help them to boost. Strain active S tier. Okay, so they get +2 to their charge, distance, and line breaker. So getting +2 to your charge and rerolling charges, and you gain line breaker if you get in with flurry. Okay. I must admit I never saw onslaught drones on the table, but this sounds good. The Leonine avatar got cheaper. Okay, they want you to play avatar apparently. Sure. Hypersynaptic bonding, cover replaced. Okay, they updated their words. Nothing changed here. Anything changed there? Nope. And that's it. Parabellum. There. You, you guys didn't feel like this guy was maybe a little bit too much? No? Okay. You Spires got off like bandits. If you want to keep spamming monsters, you absolutely can. Your Desolation Beast with one Consumption Beast, you absolutely still can. They do want you to play avatars on the side and a couple more buffs. But yeah, enjoy while it can. Start to learn avatar because I do believe their nerfs are coming for the beasts. Surprised they didn't get it hit yet. Now we go for the Euronis. Okay, let's go. So the general idea, I will read it out loud, layers of problematic abilities on the same regiments and general faction mechanics created a faction core which was hard to replace with anything else. For this patch, we try to balance the strength of overperformance to a reasonable level while introducing new mechanics and giving underperformers a lifeline. So yeah, they didn't change, like they understood that Euronis were made as a very easy and with good characteristic, like easy to begin with faction. They probably want to keep this. However, it meant that very good players could just obliterate things with those guys. Let's see what they did. The Mistress, like the spider monsters, uh, when activating a monster regiment or character with a move card, okay, you cannot just have your all monster match or your anything. It needs to be a non-monster regiment that benefits from this always active Mistress of the Ghostly Reikai. Good, good, good. The Kitsune on Moije. What happened? They gain. Okay, let's check. They gain things. They lose stuff like the Kitsune. Let's have a look on Myoji. What did it have? It loses deadly shot. It gains rapid volley instead. Okay, so deadly shot. Okay, so it can spike hard. It gains rapid volley, which means you make an extra hit. So okay, more volume of fire. It feels better for the attacking player and feels less bad for the defending player. Sure, and they gain armor piercing 1. I think I read. Yep, which is good. Okay, I would say it's a boost overall. Armor piercing 1 is very nice. It has how many shots? 3 shots. Come on, it's fine. It's not much. Adjustment to make it more suitable for the Tengu Ayakashi. What is the combo with the Tengu Ayakashi? You get inside because the Tengus have armor piercing 1, sure. And they do have rapid volley, so you don't have to separate your dice. Okay, I see what you're going for, guys. I love it. The Jorogumo Mahotsu. 40 points cheaper. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. This spider got 40 points cheaper. Sure. It's got nerfed with its mistress of Ghostly Reikai, sure, but what does it get? Evasion reduced to 1 from 2. That is good. It loses Fearless. Okay, this character must add at least 1 regiment. Good, no more Monster Mash. Remove Blossom in the Wind spell and replace with Dancing Shadow. Okay, so less tanky. You cannot make a Monster Mash anymore. It loses Blossom with the Wind, which means target enemy regiment can only perform maximum of 2 actions, which was cute, but not so strong, was it? Except against some specific thing. And you get Dancing Shadows. You know what? Let's take a look right now at Dancing Shadows. It means that you can choose a friendly regiment and they can counterattack and parry. That is nice. That is nice. It's very good defensive counterpunch. You give them counterattack, so you make a hit on each roll attack of 6. Okay, and parry, which means I think if you make a 1, you do you cannot roll failed hit rolls. Okay, so it's really boost the defense of someone. Sure, and it got much cheaper. The Yorogumo Geisha also lose Fearless and reduced evasion, so they're much less tanky. Fearless was insane on that. Well, they do have good resolve, but still, guys. What does it get? Gains the draw event Whispered Illusion. You can choose either Phantom Onslaught. So you choose whenever an enemy regiment declares a charge against you, it must perform a resolve. If you pass, -1 charge. If you fail, you cannot benefit from shock and you get -2 impact attacks. Okay. Anvil of Doubt for the Clash, -1 attack if you pass the test, and otherwise you can get inspired. New design with interesting mechanics. Throwing yourself flowers, guys, but yeah. Okay, so they change a few things. Sure, let's see if it how impactful it is. Okay. Modular regiments. This is a core mechanic of the Yoroni that is being changed. Might be absolutely massive. We need to see what it does. So we remember you need at least 2 stands, at least half the stands share the command stands army and fleischer. The number of the same regiment's stands that do not share the command stands army list entry is lower than the number of regiment stands that share the command's army list. You may select these stands in any combination as long. Okay. So you need okay. Okay, I should have read the designer's note first. Yeah, it makes it easier to make it with an even number of stands because it needs to be at least half. And okay, sure, it makes it easier to build your armies. Not a nerf at all. The Kami Ayakashi got 5 points, 5 points point adjustment. Sure. The Tengubushi, the Vanguard value is reduced to 3 from 4. That's a small adjustment as well. Tengu Ayakashi, same thing for Vanguard. Also gains Spirit Breeze. Okay. Should the regiment be composed of at least one Tengu Ayakashi, then you get +1 March. Oh, interesting. So you less Vanguard. However, you can use 1 stand of Tengu to give +1 March. It's nice. It's nice. The Origami Warriors are changed to medium. They were lights, right? Before? Yeah, they were lights, so they come a bit later, but they can capture objectives. Nice. And the Shikigami, so the little demons, a March characteristic increased. Okay, they lose fearless. Okay, okay, they change a lot. They gain loose formation, irregular, disruptive, special rule. They gain cheerful. So non-monsters within 8 gain +1 to your resolve, and your count as being sizable. Okay, so lots of changes. They're more like a little flanking annoyance that also gives +1 resolve, okay, and better march and lose fearless. So more fragile, more maneuverability, more bonus, and loose formation is going to be a pain to deal with. Okay. The Daimyo had Shikigami as restricted. Nice. And okay, few commander units can get those Shikigamis. That's cute. The Dai Yokai. So this demon, what did he get? Cost reduction, 10 points less, but evasion has been reduced. Okay. Okay. So it's reducing the evasion, which was 2, which was annoying indeed, and it gets a bit cheaper. Okay, and plus it doesn't have the combo with the Mu card anymore. Sure, that's good. Some changes for the spells, like Unification. Purification Rite is a bit cheaper. All right. And we finish with the Euronis. So not too many nerfs. It doesn't feel like you do lose a lot of annoyance, like evasion and fearless everywhere, and you're still very good. I think Euronis. Like you were a very good faction. I think you still are, guys. We continue with the city states. I love this faction. We are aware of internal balance problems in the city state. We have prepared small adjustments to sweeten the weight for what's coming. We think city states is going to get a big update soon-ish, I hope. And they help them because they were very much underperforming. What do we have? Hammer and Anvil. New design to build cavalry lists. Who has Hammer and Anvil? Is it a capacity of the commander? It is indeed the Iparcos that had Hammer and Anvil, which means you gain some bonuses and stuff. Now, once per round, choose a single infantry or cavalry regiment. You can make a free out of combat reform as it lacks action, but you cannot change the number of ranks and files. Okay, so bit maneuverability. And battlefield, so while you're on the ground, when an infantry or cavalry is activated from this strategic stack, you gain shock, so +1 clash. Okay, interesting, nice. Army of Lions. What? I did a close about 2 polemark warlords. In case of mirror match, sure. Okay. The little details doesn't change much. The Eidolon is cheaper. Okay, that's fair. It was not great. Mechanist gets +1 to its priest value. Yeah, very good because it needed that. Points reduction for a little upgrade, sure. The living breastplate was 20 points. It's not 5. They basically say, please take this. Was it so bad? What is the living breastplate? You reroll failed defense roll in a duel. Yeah, who's gonna pay 20 points for that? 5 points? If Yeah, 5 points, I guess, is the right price. I was about to say, if you really don't know what to buy for your character, the Blades of Herikes, minus 10 points. Atalanta's Spear, minus 5 points. Sure. The Hoplites, okay, they make it much cheaper. 10 points less for the whole regiment and 5 points less per stand. That's nice. You really want it now. And also 10 points drop on the Phalangites, 10 points drop on the Agemas, and 5 points per stand for the Agemas. Very nice. 10 points drop on the Satyroi. Okay, they really understood that you were struggling. 10 points drop for the Sacred Band. Let's go back on the Satyroi. They lose Impact and Fluid Formation and Irregular. Okay, which is fine. Impact 2 was not great. They gain loose formation, incredible. They gain flank special rule, brilliant, and they gain +1 attack. Okay, they understood that Tiroi were terrible, not terrible, but they were not great. So they go from 4 to 5 attacks. Great, they got cheaper. You lose your fluid formation, which was cute, but fine. You do gain flank, which is great. And can you still teleport it behind? No, so they're really great as a force that will come turn 2 with Vanguard to really secure your reinforcements line. Very nice. And they still have Opportunist, right? They keep it. So that's really, really good. And loose formation means it's very difficult for your opponents to deal with deal with it just by shooting on them. So yeah, very much a good unit now that you can just drop on the flank, and it will require your opponent to send something to deal with. The Clockwork Hoplites. Okay. Cost increase. I was about to say this was the good unit of the city states. Cost increase. Yeah, absolutely. Clockwork Hoplites are. It was the broken unit in a weak army. Okay. The Minotaur Harpist got +1 wound. Okay, nice. Wow. I am shocked. 6 wounds was already good, but to have your Minotaurs getting a 7th wound, that's great. Good for you, City States player. Increase cost a little bit for the war chariots. You can now have a maximum of 5 per army. If you complain that 5 chariots is too little, okay, guys, look yourself in the mirror. You bought 6 chariots. Very good. Maybe sell some of them because who wants to play against 6 chariots? It's not fun. Syntax update on the spells. Okay, nothing much changed. Right. That's it for the city states. Great news for city states. Buffs everywhere, except for the Clockwork Hoplites and Chariots, which was absolutely deserved. This is great. You're going to see more core forces of the city states. I'm wondering if it's going to be enough to make them a top tier army. But everything that you want to play, or everything that I want to see in an army of city states, is there. You get more infantry. Okay, the Therians had 7 wounds, and now the Haspists have a 7 wound, but it's still very cheap. Hoplites, Agemas, Phalangites, everything is cheaper. The Satyai seems great. Love it. It's a big boost for the entire city states army, which, let's be honest, they absolutely needed it. I think they were contenders for the worst army in the game. They got lots of boosts. That's great. Wadroons is the next. Wadroon is the next army that we're gonna see. Wadroon is our friends Yasan's Army of Heart, also for IGTV. What happened? They focused on enabling some underperformance and bringing down clearly overperforming regiments. I think we all know who's going to get the nerf. Your brutes and infantry should not be overshadowed by dinosaurs, at least in terms of balance. I know he's going to be every Wadroon players love their dinosaurs. I think it's quite fine to see more of the actual Wadroon's infantry regiments. So what do we get? Concentrated assault, vanguard value is changed to 4, so your infantry can grab that objective round 2. That is great. Always active for the chieftain. That's great. We know that being able to gain objectives on round 2 with your medium is absolutely brilliant in many scenarios and is worth its weight in gold. So great for the chieftain. The matriarch walks. What changed? Okay, this is typically the moment when I compare. The matriarch walk. It used to be when you chant anywhere, you lose broken, sure, and once per battle, you could make double activation, basically. Okay. Now, what happens? Always active when you, okay, still the same, when a friendly regiment chants, okay? And then once per activation, am I blind? Isn't it the same? Once this player's first activation and you know, immediately return, you may then draw your command card and immediately activate it. Okay, they de-nerfed the fact that this additional activation cannot entourage another regiment. So now you can activate a character, entourage, so with the matriarch, then activate another character and entourage. So you can have kind of like 4 activations if you consider the um, characters as well. Sure, not a huge change, but nice. The winged, like predator, mounted predator, winged predator, the big game hunt. Okay, it's a whole new thing. Mark one enemy regiment to be your prey at the end of the game's first supremacy phase, and you can choose any regiment, even those that are not on the battlefield. Friendly regiment are always inspired or taking aim when you shoot at that. And when the regiment is destroyed, you may immediately select another prey. That is fun. That is fun. Huh, I like this thing, and that you once you destroy the enemy regiment, you can choose another prey. Uh, okay, that is interesting. It's hunting time. Yeah, let us know, Woodrune players, what you think of that. But that sounds like a fun mechanic. Small syntax change for the Vision of Conquest. Okay, and for the Chosen of War, what happens? Vision of War, the active part stays the same. Activated, friendly regiments gain hardened 1 until the end of the round. So you can tank. That is very good. Okay, so it's just a bonus. Always active when you change, you gain Tenacious 1. So this is always the case. They just give you a boost with activated, so you get 1 turn of hardened 1. Nice. Mounted Predator. This regiment is currently attached, gains Deadly Shot. Nice. You can give Deadly Shot to your Raptor Riders. Crazy. You gain Flurry on your Mounted Raptor. You reduce the range. Volley characteristic decreased. Evasion increased. Okay, so basically they changed the Mounted Predator, which was a little bit weird, and now it's very much unified with the Raptor Riders, which do have Flurry, which do have increase. Okay, it really feels like Raptor Rider now, the Mounted Predator. And you give Deadly Shot. Nice. Predator is cheaper, the range is reduced. It's still not cheap, but for a region. Range has been reduced due to general range cut. So a bit cheaper, and you shoot less far for the Predator. It's fine. Sign of Conquest. If the character is the Warlord, then you can have 1 Drum Beast as a mainstay. Little funky thing for a more fluff related than otherwise, but still nice to have it. Sign of Death is cheaper. It gains Priest. They increase the evasion, and it has 0 defense, which I mean, doesn't change much. Okay. Big adjustment for the Death Cult. Okay. They change a lot of things for Death. Okay. So basically, you have lots of evasion and 0 defense. Not many things ignore evasion. So this change to defense should not change, but they gain Priest for the sign. Okay. And it's cheaper. Sign of War is cheaper as well. It gains Priest. Evasion is increased to 4, and defense is increased. No, sorry. Evasion is increased +1 to reaches 2, and the defense is increased as well. So it's a big boy now. The Winged Lord Predator. Third powerful action. Okay, so they remove the third activation on the Winged Lord Predator. It's good. So they boost the science and the infantry and stuff and nerf a little bit the giant dinosaurs. Great. So what happened to Death? Regiment, Beads of Death. Cost reduced to 10 points. You gain access to the Bloody Sacrifice event. You gain take 2 wounds without morale, and then you have +1 march. Okay, fun. Death Reach cost reduced to 10 points from 20. It's minor things. Let's keep going. Blood. If your warlord follows the Cult of Death, the regiment you're attached to heals 1 wound every time you destroy something, to a maximum of 5, and the healing is applied once morale tests have been resolved. Okay, that's nice. So they damage themselves, they charge, and then they can heal while killing something. Nice. Also have Cure, both the regiment and the character attached. Ignore hits or wounds from lethal demise or of death and decay, because you're immune to death. Okay, nice. Chosen. Split effects from single rule for clarity. This becomes a floating text. Oh, and still a work in progress, of course. What does it get, Chosen? When you chant +3 March for your first action, it performs this activation. So you need to make a first March, but okay. Text adjustment for clarity. The Chosen of Death is significantly more expensive, but it goes from evasion 1 to evasion 3, so okay. It loses Visage of Death, and you gain Cultists of Death. When this regiment chants the battle cry, you gain flawless strikes. So when you make ones, you bypass the defense entirely. Nice, So yeah, they did change a lot of things for all the cults. Slingers are cheaper, are they? Cost reduced as well. I'm getting scared of that. Range reduced to 16, and they gain long shot. Okay, just change the name of long shot. Okay, I thought they were good. They are now significantly cheaper, but a bit less range. Hey, reducing the cost of the veteran seems fair. The Chosen of War go 20 points discount and fearless, and it gains terrifying 2 on its chance. Previously was overshadowed by the Speaker's Regiment due to too high cost for too low benefit. If the regiment is heavy and slow, it should be resilient or hit hard. So okay, and now it is both resilient with fearless, and it hits hard because when it chance terrifying 2 against some enemies, well, it's gonna be great. And the Warbred gain Fury. Crippled by loss of Relentless Blow from Sign of War, had to get some help. Yeah, okay. It lost Relentless Blow, that's true. And now it gains Fury, which means, let's remember, when you charge, you gain +1 attack for your Warbred, which is going to be great. Warbreds are 5 attacks, going to 6 is going to be very nice. The Drum Beast gets 20 points discount, okay. And you can get it from another side. Sure. The Tauntor is cheaper as well, okay. Well, I did hear that they were not so good anymore. Feels fair. They removed the third activation on the Quaddle, which was maybe too strong. The Aberration is 10 points cheaper. Good, because it was not great yet. And some spells changing. Okay. So some nerfs to the crazy shenanigans you could have with dinosaurs. A lot of change with the cults to get them more like basically the cult of war is very tough now with lots of defense, better evasion, fearless and stuff. The Cult of Death has a whole new gameplay with crazy evasion, self damage, healing, and yeah, some good points reduction for the infantry. Interesting for the Wood Druids. Now, my favorite, the Dweghoms, my faction of heart. What changes? Some rules were too oppressive, created a negative player experience, or just generated too much value for their price. Yeah, but that's not the only thing. In parallel, some units were underperforming. Absolutely. We were very cautious with adjusting them to not create more problems than before. Basically, you've seen in the WTC tournament, I had a clans list, which was not perfect, but it was nice counter meta pick. Every single other Dwegom army had the same list with uh, Fire Forged, Steel Forged, sometimes Stone Forged, and Sorcerer like spellcasters, and this um, Steel Shaper as well, of course. So hopefully this gets nerfed and they boost the other things like the Ardent and the Clan. We'll see how it goes. The Ardent Creed, no, small adjustment for clarity. So no balance change. They just clarify some stuff. Sure, yeah, small adjustment to clarity. Okay. They just make some typos. Yeah, for example, this is exactly how it worked before. Same for the Tempered Creed. And, very important adjustment to overperforming supremacy. Yes. Okay. I will just show you again, guys. For those of you who never played against Steel Shaper, it was basically the best supremacy you could get. I'm happy. I tried not to play this because it felt obviously too strong. Basically, when a Forge Regiment, which is basically going to be your whole army, if you play this guy, becomes awakened, and it's very easy to do that, you heal 2 wounds. So basically, every time you activate a unit, almost, you heal 2 wounds every time. So it was way too strong. And in addition, when once per game, when a friendly non-monster regiment becomes awakened, you can heal 5 instead of 2. Okay. And also during the supremacy, when you activate it, everybody generates power markers, which is insane. Now, what happens? When a friendly non-monster Forge regiment becomes awakened, it heals 2. So they add non-monster because Steel Forge had 2 and then +3 became 5 all the time. Stone Forge were basically unkillable because of that. And once per game, when a non-monster Forge regiment becomes awakened, you can choose to spend 3 markers to heal. Okay, so you have opportunity cost. You cannot auto heal 5 wounds on your Stone Forge. You cannot use your once per game awakening on your Stone Forged either to again heal 5 wounds. And you need to spend 3 markers to trigger this. Okay, great. And during this round, you still generate power. That's great. Basically, you have way less overpowered healing on units that are defense 4, resolve 4. Sounds absolutely fair. I'm sorry, guys, but it's still very good. I mean, still very good. Not absurdly strong. Forge Master. Okay, it's the spellcaster, the main sorcerer that has the Forge Master capacity. When performing a spellcasting action, friendly tempered characters may measure lines to up to half of the spell's range. No, no, no. Okay, so you have less range if you use your Forge Master capacity to throw fireballs and stuff from another command stand. Sounds fair as well. Clan Creed. I'm just going to read this, even if it's just for clarity, because it's what I play all the time. Your army gain the benefits when friendly clan are awakened. They gain Oblivious and Iron Discipline. It's absolutely how it works. Okay, no change there. Small adjustments for clarity everywhere. The Rune Forged Plate. Okay, this thing that allowed you to spend power markers to gain extra attacks. It's a bit more expensive, and now one marker you get plus 2 attacks, and 2 markers plus 4. So it's a little bit more expensive, but basically you gain +1 attack at both stage. It used to be +1 +3, and now it's +2 +4. Nice. So it makes me want to get it more because +1 attack for 20 points. Like here it's a bit more expensive, but at least you get your money's worth. +4 attacks on the Steel Shaper. I mean, Steel Shaper got nerfed on the side. We've seen this, but now Steel Shaper with Smite +4 attacks. Ooh, that's gonna be nice. World Breakers, great value for this thing. The cost is increased to 60 points. Fair, fair. You know what? Fair. It was good. It was very good. Still, the fact that it's more expensive than the armor of Dominion of the 100 Kingdoms hurt, but fair. The Fireforged get 3 attacks from 4 in melee. They were too efficient during clash action. I can see that. I can see that. They were efficient in clash, surprisingly. So okay, absolutely fair. Flame Berserkers, they got the cost reduced from 5 points. Cost per stand has been reduced to 60. Thank you, thank you. You really didn't want to have an extra stand. It was absurdly expensive. And Aura of Death value adjusted to 2 due to special rules. They say the Flame Berserkers were struggling compared to the Inferno Automata, and yeah, sounds fair. Much cheaper, which is good. Where can I find them? They used to be Aura of Death 4 for the whole regiment. Now Aura of Death 6 because it's going to be 2 per stand. And you will want to maybe get extra red stands in there. And then maybe you will want to have a Herald of Fire. I think maybe I will try next battle report to get a block of 5 Flame Berserkers back in the glory days. And we'll see how that works. Hold Warriors with floating text. They're getting pack 2. Why? When it's awakened. But okay, okay. That's cute. That's cute. If you're awakened, you get impact 2. It's gonna be 6 attacks at clash 2. You're gonna make 2 to 3 hits. Maybe gonna make a wound. It's cute. They call it small treat for warriors and enjoyers. Yes, thanks because well, whole things were just better warriors anyway. Might get some hold warriors back on the menu. The initiates, that unit that was MVP and became terrible, cost increased, cost reduced to 140 from 150 because they were terrible. Also cheaper to increase the number of stands, sure. And when it's awakened, you gain support +1. Small tree for ardent enjoyers. That's not the thing. Okay, support +1 is cute. Cheaper is cute. They need to get their defense back. They used to be a tanky unit. They are not meant to be a super massive block with support +1. You need to give us back some good defense on the initiate. It's supposed to be a defensive block, and I'm sorry, defense 2 just doesn't make it. They do have shield. Okay, so from the front they're gonna get +1. Phalanx, so another one +1, so they can go to the defense 4. I'm not sure getting to support 3 really. Okay, it's a small buff. They said they want to be careful. I still don't think initiates quite get there, but okay. Magma Forged, Aura of Death is now 3 due to special rules. That sounds significant. There used to be Aura of Death 4, so it means a full pack of a pack of 3 is going to be Aura of Death 9 instead of 4. Great, and let's remember they can get +1 defense, +2 charge. Okay, okay. Okay, something changed here. Empowerment. They can spend 1 power marker to gain a bonus, 3 markers to gain both. And it's exactly the same as before. Am I missing something? Why they write the empowerment again if it's exactly the same? They might spend an okay. Okay, I don't know why they write it again. For me, it's exactly the same. Charge distance plus 1 defense, and the Herald of Magma, yeah, being its cost reduced, it did give them Line Breaker. It's good that its cost was reduced because it was not not amazing, the Herald of Magma. All of this, though, it's a big change. It means if you make a big pack of like 5 Magma Forge, which is something they did before as well, um, they're going to be very appealing. And it's going to be like 15 hits of Horror of Death. That's nice. The Wardens also got a cost reduction from 180 to 190. Damn, I wish I could play the WTC again. Like my list got lots of boost. Well, it was not very good, but still, 180 from 190 is good. Wardens felt bad. They were not great. Now at 180 feels better. Inferno Automatas, considerable overperformers. They got more expensive. That is good. Uh, yeah, the regiment was clearly overperforming, regardless of adjustments made to Forge. We think points and Aura of Death adjustments put it in the right place. Sure, because it was Aura of Death 4, still good. Like, it's going to get better Aura of Death. And it still has +1 March or Impact +2, and it's more expensive. Okay, it's fine. It's still good unit. They didn't overly kill it. Little boost from Aura of Death, a bit more expensive. The Found, there were, yeah, 20 points reduction, and for the whole regiment, 10 points reduction per stand for the Found. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the artillery version. The Lost is what you saw all the time. The artillery, I've never seen it on the table. It was way too expensive for what it did. And you compare it to Fireforge, and we're like, why would I take this guy? Yeah, they're cheaper. That's what they need. They were just too expensive. Okay, Steel Forged. Wow. Okay, that's a big nerf. The Steel Forge lost an attack. Okay, there were 5 attacks, and they could get +2. So they went from 5 to 7, which meant 22 attacks with the commander. Okay, and now they get to 4, so they can go from 4 to 6 because you every single time you attack, you at least have the +2 attacks. So it means you're gonna get 19 attacks instead of 22. That's it. That's all they did for the Steel Forge. Still fine. Still absolutely fair. As they say, the regiment was clearly overperforming and is still great after this change. Yes, 100%. You did get some nerfs through the rest of the list, etc., but it could have been way worse than that for the Steel Forge. It was very tanky, very fast, and it was an absolute mowing machine. Now it's still very good, but it will not obliterate everything it touches. Spells, okay, they changed a bit of the wording. Anything changed? No designer's notes. All the spells are the same. It didn't boost because my ground, I don't know, syntax update. Okay, they did change some stuff. They just didn't specify per se. Remove some strength from fire and oppressiveness from magma. We hope that earth is now worth considering. Remove the markers from the game, including Sorcerer Kings, due to negative player experience. Okay, so you don't have to put markers saying like, okay, I put something on this part of the terrain and then there is a bubble around it. Like we remember the bubble of the Sorcerer Kings for -1 clash, or the magma markers. Okay, since they didn't specify what changed, we're going to have to do it one by one. You know what? I'm just going to put a tempered sorcerer here. Let's check for fire. Coruscation used to be range 16. It is now the same. Attunement, 1 hit per success. And you used to gain an elemental token, which made it so you had so much healing with the Steel Shaper. Now you do not get the extra elemental power token. Great. Fireball, range 2. They nerfed the range of the fireball. Sounds absolutely fair, especially with the special capacity of the tempered sorcerer being nerfed. Absolutely fair. Flame wall didn't change from what I see. Attunement. Okay, attunement is 3 instead of being 4. Okay. So okay, sure. Quite a stronger thing. Magmatic. Okay, the magma was indeed the most oppressive. Magmatic seep. You need to put a marker. How does it work now? You only target a terrain. You don't put a marker, you need to choose a terrain. And it counts as erupting, you lose cover. You just remove cover from the terrain. Harsh. Then Pyroclast. You target an enemy regiment. It's first 1 hit. No, no, no. Pyroclast, where it is. You used to have hits on the flank. You could target a token. This spell may target an enemy regiment within 6 inches of an erupting piece of zonal or garrison terrain. So you need to choose a terrain, so just remove the marker. Okay? And Eruption, it gained some range, but also you need to target a piece of terrain and it counts as erupting. Everyone inside takes one hit. This is not the thing you did before. Anyway, but okay, no more markers, which is fine, but a bit hard, bits of a harsh nerf. And they say they boosted Earth School, which I'm very happy with. If they did, Roots of Stone, still the same range, attunement of 4, which is good because you usually wanted to do it on very large regiments. You target someone. Oh my god! It used to be you have +1 defense and -2 to the march, sure. And now you gain counterattack and parry. In a way, I'm happy because it means you can use it on Thanes and units that would be defense 4 anyway. Counterattack and parry is nice, but +1 defense was so cool. Okay, it's fine. Makes it interesting on your big block of something that really wants to be very defensive, like big block of whole Thanes. It's a nerf if you wanted to use it to really boost a big block of Hold Warriors. But if you target your Dragon Slayers, your Steel Forged, your Hold Thanes from the front, it's good. Broken Ground, still the same. Attunement is a bit easier. You target an enemy regiment within 12 and it loses Juggernaut and it cannot reroll its charge distance. Yeah, it's very rare that you get to use it. But before it used to be okay, you needed to roll 2d6 and choose the lowest, but you could still roll your charge. Now it's very good specifically against enemies with Juggernaut. Like, for example, you get within 12 inches, but it's going to be tough with your spellcaster, but you get within 12 inches of a unit like the Thunder Riders of the Woodrunes, they're going to be very sad. And Rock Shaping, which is still the same, still exactly the same. They didn't say they changed anything on the metal discipline, forgot how they call it, but the spells of the tempered should be still the same. Let's not spend more time on that, and all the other spells probably are the same. All right, Sorcerer Kings. We are all excited for this. How did they nerf the pigeons? We know the pigeons have been nerfed. Like, there is no way they didn't. Some rules were too oppressive, creating negative player experience, or both. I think that something is missing there. Remove the markers for the game for multiple reasons, while also addressing the birds issues. Yes, please. They changed a few things due to water changes. I guess it's just some readjustments. The Mahabharati Sardar cost reduction. Okay, let's go to see who this guy was, because I must say I've never seen it before in the table. Okay, it's like this commander. Their regular army commander is much cheaper, probably very good because I've never seen it. Sorcerer, the range has been increased to 16, so you can play it with the archers. Good. Regiments. Some change has been made for the spells. You lose barrage, you can terrifying one. The Danure range reduced to 16 from 18. So okay, so they reduce the range of the Danure and they increase for the sorcerer because that's a combo you usually saw. Nice. And they reduce the cost because of that. Nice. The Mahabharati initiates cost reduction for both the regiment and per stand, and they gain Tenacious 1. Okay, that's good. Or where am I initiate? Yeah, I did see them a couple times, but they didn't feel oppressive at all. Okay, they gain Tenacious, which is very good, and got cheaper. Gifted Mortal, is it something new? It used to be that okay, if friendly character put a spell on them, automatically success, and you always on the same court. Okay, it was not very interesting. Still the same here. You can have the same court, and the regiment gains one of the following special rule based on the warlord's court. Interesting. Court of Fire, you gain Juggernaut. Okay, starts good. Sure, and there are movement 6 with Juggernaut, Line Breaker. Yeah, I mean, I don't play Sorcerer Kings, but sure, very good. Line Breaker's nice. Court of Air, Opportunist. Nice. And you have some fluid formation and stuff in Court of Air, sure. Court of Water, if you are within 3 inches of a water piece of zonal terrain, you can probably point and make it water. All of your stands count as within a piece of water terrain, so you can have cover even without cover. Okay. And Court of Earth, Regeneration 2, and they are wounds 4, so yeah, Regeneration 2, significant. Okay, good boost, good boost. And they got cheaper, and they get Tenacious, like, very nice, very nice. The Rajakur got cheaper per additional stand, the basic, like, elite infantry. They're not very elite, but they're good. Used to be 40. Okay, so you are more incentivized to try to make nice blocks of 5 or 7, depending on if you put characters inside and stuff. Sure. Windborn Jin got cheaper, minus 10 points for the whole regiment and minus 5 per stand. Okay. They were not very oppressive, sure. For now, it's only buffs, but we all are waiting for the birds. The Marit Sahar, so the water guys, change due to water changes. Indeed, there is no more water token, so it needs to be for a piece of water zonal terrain. Okay. The Mahout. So the Mahout, okay, same. Okay, it's about tokens. You don't have tokens anymore. You need to choose terrain. Sure. The Rakshasa Bakasura. It got a little bit cheaper, and you get plus 3 inches when you target a monster or a character. And then you can make a free duel and hunt someone, otherwise you gain flurry. It was the same before, was it not? The arrogance part, +3. Okay, so you can just to be with a character, now you can do this against a monster to make a little duel. Nice. The Ravenar got minus 10 points as well, without any change. The Trinavarta Chandavat. This guy. The Chandavat being the spell casting one. One less wound. Lose formation. Great. You can finally deal with it with magic, with shooting, with anything. Great. When it gets targeted by enemy volley action, you gain Tenacious 1. You didn't have this before, right? So you don't have loose formation, but you gain Tenacious 1. Sure, fine. Good trade. Like from the enemy player. Air Elemental. Reinforcements line set by this regiment can be pushed back. When you make an activation march for the first time, you have +1 evasion. So, okay, you are at evasion 2. If you move, you gain evasion 3. And a little bit easier to deal with shooting action and much easier to deal with magic and one less wound. And okay, good change. The Trinavarta, 10 points cheaper, but it loses loose formation. Evasion reduced to 2 without a capacity to go back to 3. Great. And it gains impact 5. So more of a melee thing. They did give him impact 5, cheaper, but yeah, no more loose formation, no more evasion 3. Okay, and you do gain Tenacious 1 against volley, but still, okay. They didn't obliterate it. We are not playing 40k where the nerf hammer can be absolutely overwhelming. Sounds good. I do like it. I really do like those changes. Like I said, like I played against it with my melee army. It was not so bad to deal with it, except with the markers and everything, but still it's fine. I am quite fine with that. Like, good for the overall balance of the game. A lot of adjustments to spells and rituals. Is there a lot of them? Is there a lot of them? Yes, but there is some. Okay, good they specify because there are so many spells for those guys. Let's see where it changed. There are some designer's notes when it has been changed, except the removing. We understood it for all the things with markers like water and earth. You don't put a marker, you just choose terrain. Okay. What has been changed? Lifting winds. You target a friendly court of air and it gains unstoppable. What did it used to be? Lifting winds. You used to gain +2 to your march action for the first march, so you gain unstoppable, rerolling charges. Sure. Homing winds. You, it used to be that you target a court of air regiment and he rerolls all failed hit rolls when performing volley. This is what you saw every single time. Now you reroll failed hit rolls of 6. Good, good, because that's literally my Sorcerer King players told me when I played against them, like, yeah, don't forget all the other spells. This is the one I'm spending using every single turn. So like, good that it's balanced. Like full reroll of shooting was just too good, way too good. Rerolling 6 is still great, not OP. What else changed? Spiteful Winds. Uh, Change due to NPU, due to unlimited range. Change helps with planning, so you gain 5 plus X hits, where X is the defense, and you can, okay, you need to be engaged with a court of air force. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's the spell that I think wasn't it this guy that had this spiteful wind? No. Yeah, I took this a lot during the tournament. Yeah, it used to be 2 plus X hits, where X was your defense, and it was difficult because or usually defense 4 when you're a Dwegholm. No morale, and you just needed to, like, it was anywhere on the battlefield. It was a bit oppressive. In addition, everybody within 8 gets 2 hits. It was way too strong. So now you need to be engaged, however, boost to the number of hits, and you do not have the area effect anymore. Thank you. That was a, it's not a spell, it was a ritual, but goddamn was it OP. Small adjustment to blood to water. Uh, okay, some little thing about resolve. Okay, small thing, and I like that they, if you do not have resolve, you take 2 more hits. Nice. It added scaling to this, which gives you aim shot. Doesn't change the face of the world. And all right, in stabilize, it's only to self, to not have aura of death and decay. Again, no big changes. Gifts of the earth. Okay, you need to target a piece of terrain. Sure. Keys of the earth, and again, you can -2 to its march characteristic during the first march or charge. Okay, that's it for the Sorcerer Kings. Not so terrible. It could have been worse. Like, guys, the Parabellum was very careful with, like, you did lose formation and your crazy evasion shenanigans. However, I think it's still a very good faction. Is it going to be enough to rein them in? I don't know, but I'm very happy of what Parabellum has done here. It's not too heavy lifted. What I think will be heavy lifted is the goddamn Old Dominion. It's so annoying to play against those guys. Old Dominion, too much power in one supremacy leads to always playing versus one list and its variations during OP events. Absolutely. Old Dominion was the army with the most outdated rule set, which was also counter-interactive with other game rules to an absurd degree. Absolutely as well, like 100%. We decided to give the army a major refresh. Okay, so this is a major refresh. Okay, let's get going. Army rule. Brittle. They gain brittle. We are implementing the brittle special rule to ensure that all Dominion also care about the position of their regiments. Finally. So this is what we said. Against the brittle rule, if you get if you get impacts or clash, if you are attacked from the rank, you gain 2 success that turn into failures, and if you're from the rear, 4 of your success will turn into failures. Okay, so finally, you cannot just make some crazy shenanigans teleporting around with your Moyas and stuff and be like, you know what, I am immune to mod, I don't care, I can play the game however I want. That is a good change. That is a very good change. Memories of old. Multiple, oh my god, that's a huge change. Multiple instances of the same memories of old ability do not stack. So you cannot have Clash plus 3, this kind of crazy things. Wow. Okay. Balance Nightmare eliminated. We tried hard to keep memories of old stacking in the rule set, but it was proven counterintuitive and caused too many restrictions. Okay. It is a combat and out of combat actions. The regiment immediately gains the benefits of all special rules listed until the ability end of the round. Okay, so you cannot stack your memories of old. When you trigger it, when you activate it as a draw event, then you can make an action. Then you can maybe get in more from some combos. That is a huge change. Okay, I think there's going to be some points change because some units really needed cleave plus X from memory of all the stuff. Wow. And okay, I'm a bit shocked, but okay. Let's go to Blasphemous Soma. Each round you gain 1 power token to your power, yeah, with this we knew. Both Dark Power Pool and Fallen Pantheon Power Pool tier effects last as long as you remain on that tier. So you can lose Dark Power now? Let's keep scrolling. Dark Power Pool. Tier 3, in addition to Tier 2, you get Inspired. You need to remove that the regiment also gain the benefits of the memory as a bit of the white twice. Okay, so they remove this. In addition to when you are tier 4, which is very rare, enemy regiments must reroll successful moral test. Nice. Okay, so wow, so many changes. What changed with the Fallen Pantheon? Small adjustments for the Fallen Pantheon, which may only be used by the Fallen Divinity. Wasn't it the case before? I guess it's just clarification. Fallen Divinity. Okay, let's see the designer's note. Small adjustments to help her out against counter lists. At tier 1, it gains Unstoppable, good. Brutal Impact, okay. +1 March. It gains wounds characteristic of 16 instead of 12, +4 wounds, so it's going to be much harder, guys, to kill the Fallen Divinity turn 2 or 3 and then win the game. You lose hardened. You gain +1 defense though. Fine. And your evasion goes from 3 to 2. Okay. So yeah, I see what they're trying to do. More counterplay from defense and evasion, and with more wounds. I think it, overall, it's going to be harder to kill a tier 1 fallen divinity, and you gain unstoppable. Damn. Tier 2, you gain plus. You still are at wound 16 instead of 14. You lose harden 2 all outright, but you are defense 4 already at tier 2, and brutal impact 2. At tier 3, it's only at tier 3 that your evasion goes to 3, otherwise from 1. You lose harden 2, you lose tenacious 1, but you gain brutal impact. Okay, so lots of changes for the fallen divinity. Need to unpack all of this, but you basically gain some impacts and unstoppable, so you're better at charging, especially with brutal impact 3, for example. You have flat 16 wounds. Okay. You don't have hardened at all. You do have better defense from the beginning. And only at tier 3, you go up to evasion 3 from evasion 1. Gonna make the fight against Fallen Divinity much more interesting, and playing as Fallen Divinity much more interesting as well. Interesting. Yeah, I really like this change. Surrounded by fear and dead men, small adjustments activated should allow you to survive most unlucky dice rolls. Okay. You can target your regiment, you destroy up to 3 stands, and it allows you to heal. Okay, you can, if you really are dying with your Fallen Divinity, you can obliterate a friendly regiment, and you can pass a power and then heal and stuff. So okay, can allow you to not be one shot. Nice. The Archimandrite, he gains the Creed battlefield roll, okay, because okay, they're gonna get Creed. It loses regeneration 1, small rules adjustment. The Scholar of the Profane, first of the new supremacies, designed as a main Aura of Death list enabler. Our little uh, Scholar of the Profane, renamed to Blasphemous Mesa. Let me just check again who has this Scholar of the Profane. Yeah, it was the Archimandrite, indeed. So they changed the name. It used to be, well, let's not care much. Like you can make more spells, which was good. Like let's not joke. Like it was a very good guy. It used to be at least, and then it was overshadowed by some competitive lists. And you can reroll sometimes. Okay, now what does it do? You gain the Blasphemous Mesa draw event. You may spend 1 dark power to make a free spell casting action. So you still have it. You spend dark power. It, guy, all Dominion players, is it the first time you need to spend dark power to do something? I think it is. Friendly regiments just gain +1 or have this flat all the time, always active. Great. When you activate a friendly Creed or Legion regiment, you may spend again 1 dark power to gain either another +1 Aura of Death, or to lose Brittle. So if you're getting flanked charge, is nice, or to gain Terrifying +1. It can use some of the dark power to influence the battle. Very interesting playstyle now. I love it. The Hierodicon is no longer, no, sorry, it gains the Fallen Pantheon. So Hierodicon is not the spellcaster, it was a priest, right? Yeah, it was a priest. It loses regeneration, okay? It can now become a warlord, which is nice. And new supremacy, Divinity Grace. If you ever wanted to play a Fallen Pantheon army, but you wanted to play it without the Fallen Divinity, here it is. Hierodicon will gladly lead some fanatics into battle. So what does he get if he's a warlord for your Fallen Pantheon? You can make a free spellcasting action on top, okay? All the regiments lose Brittle. Nice, I guess. Like you can avoid the nerf of the that the whole army received. When you make a Dark Shepherd event, double the amount of tokens. Nice, so double is like just goes from 1 to 2, right? Yeah, it just goes from 1 to 2. Your friendly cultist and assassin gain a Fallen Pantheon roll. Nice. And when you activate the supremacy, all Fallen Pantheon, including cultist and assassin, gain blessed. Cute. Is it going to be super strong? I don't know. For sure, it unlocks a new playstyle. I'm not sure if it's going to be crazy strong, but it's nice that it exists. The Strategos. The Strategos should be a centerpiece of the Legion. We always imagined that it was leading the army and tried to reflect it with a new supremacy. So it's going to be probably an area thing. He gains the Legion battlefield roll, loses regeneration, may take some stuff. Adds supremacy ability, Master of the Legion. Let's not read the old one. What happens? You can reach tier 4. This was the case before. You may use the activated part at the end of each supremacy phase. So, okay, as long as he is on the battlefield, I'm guessing, you may use the activated part. So, okay, when it's activated, then every single supremacy phase, target up to 2 friendly legion regiments. They gain one of the following benefits. Note, this character stand may choose a different benefit for each regiment. Makes sense. Either you are at the Dark Power Pool tier +1. Nice. Either it activates right away your Memory of Old ability. Great for defensive ability when you know you're not going to get the initiative because activated, you can use it at the end of each supremacy phase. So when you know who begins, you lose the supremacy roll, you're going to get a big punch, you can get your defense +1 or whatever. That's nice. Or you can give your regiment to roll 2d6 and pick the highest when you make the charge distance. Nice. Or you can remove brutal if you have a unit that's going to be rear charge. Actually, very nice. Actually, very nice. What did you have before? I completely forgot what the Strateros had. Every okay, when you activated part of the ability, all friendly regiment count as 1 tier higher, and you gain Vanguard 3. But I do think it's a boost for this guy. Like it's very versatile capacity now. The Mountain Strateros has 1 less wound, and it loses Mounted General. Little change, nothing major. Though it has glimmers of the Golden Age, it's still the same. You can go to tier 4 for your Dark Power Empowerment once per round, always active. When you perform a clash or charge with a Legion regiment, before the roll to hit, you may declare the use of this ability. You convert 1 plus X failed hit into success, where X is your Dark Power Pool tier. That's good. And when you activate it, only once though, until the end of the round, when you activate, when the regiment is using the once per round ability of Glimmers of the Gold Age, it counts as under the Dark Power Empowerment tier 4. Okay, so when you do this part where you convert your failed hits into successes, you can use this and you count as power tier 4, even if you are tier 1, like even if it's the very beginning of the game. So yeah, it does lead the charge and finding flaws in opponent's weakness. So it's a little bit less constant bonus turn after turn after turn, but you do have one for one good bonus. When you're gonna have one big decisive fight per round, it's gonna be a good boost. And once per game, you can obliterate something with just being power tier 4, which I guess it's a capacity, the once per game thing that you will want to do quite early in the game because that's when you get the most bonus. If you wait to be tier 4 to use it, it's too late. Theokrator. Okay, what changed with him? Oh my god, so many things changed. Oh my god. The trial wheel we've seen, you can choose to ignore the defense and evasion and instead test against the enemy's resolve. Okay. This attack does not benefit from Smite or Cleave, but still benefit from Terrifying X. This makes sense. They adjusted it to not be an auto pick for every single list. Instead, he was provided with a new supremacy which can shine with clever deployment of your troops. Okay, what is the new supremacy? Creed and Legion regiments with animate vessels gain Terrifying +1 as an additional benefit of Dark Power Pool Tier 3. It's good. Once per okay, so they nerf like who can get this. Once per round before clash action, you may spend 1 power token to grant 1 friendly Creed or Legion regiment Trial of Will. Okay, so you can give this capacity to someone. That's nice. And activated, everybody gains. Everybody that is Creed or Legion gain Trial of Will. So against some lists, if you fight against a list with high defense or evasion and low resolve, it's gonna be a good guy. Not sure it's an auto pick indeed anymore. The Ziliarch, our boy. Arguably the strongest warlord in the game, could not keep his supremacy without nerfing half an army. Therefore, we choose to rework his supremacy in a way that keeps his strength but in a more balanced manner. It was the guy that, let's sum it up, it was the guy that allows you to make double attack, like double clash, and basically obliterate anything. Let's read it again. How it was. Say goodbye to obturates once per game. So yeah, you can reach tier 4 once per game until the end of the round. Every regiment may make a free additional clash. So yes, you can make double clash. So you can make, I don't know, move clash, super like move charge clash. I mean, but still super crazy range. And if you were already in melee, which was easy to do with a lot of your tough army, everybody was there, and you can just clash move and just completely raid the army and move forward. Like it was insane. Yeah, it was insane. Nothing else to say. It's crazy. It's good that it was nerfed, but I'm curious to see what they change. Friendly Legion medium regiment gain Vanguard 2. It's cute. It does it allow you to capture objective? I think maybe yes. And if it's heavy regiment, they gain Vanguard 4. Nice. Also, once per round, choose one. Either when a Legion regiment makes a charge at plus X, where X is your power pool, so you can get +1, +2, +3 to your charge battlefield wide, so lots of mobility, nice. Or when your Warlord's regiment makes a clash action, or when you make a dual action, add plus X to this character's attack characteristic, where X is your dark power pool tier. So once you are stuck in, you can use this. Yeah, that is great, is it? Lots of mobility, which helps a lot with for the Old Dominion, because mobility is the Old Dominion's weak point most of the time. And getting extra charge distance or extra attack later on, and Vanguard 2, Vanguard 4 is great. But yeah, they really nerfed him hard. I think my favorite new capacity is probably this guy, the Strateros on foot, where you can choose two regiments. Well, this is the Dweghoms in me that loves to do things at the end of the supremacy phase, but choosing like, okay, this guy gets Memory of Old as a defense. This guy's gonna get rear charge, so let's remove Brittle. Or maybe this guy needs really to get +1 cleave, so let's give him the +1 to the Dark Power Pool. Very interesting new supremacy, but everything is good, and I really like that they changed it, and it's gonna be more of a choice which Warlord you get now. Let's continue. Regiments, officer and upgrades. Simeon of the Legion, removed from the game. Oh, what? What was the Simeon of the Legion? You gain Untouchable, which was an upgrade, but I guess it didn't have rules. Who could get this Simeon? Do you guys remember who had this Simeon? Probably an infantry, I guess. Uh, who had this Simeon of the Legion? Legionnaires? Who had that? Okay, but it's gone. Whoever had this doesn't not have it anymore. Maybe it was an upgrade, I don't know. Kalistine banner. Okay, now it's Legion character only, so they add some restriction. Same for the banner, the Primediania. Was it the good banner? But yeah, they had some restrictions for the Legion artifacts. Quiras of Hazlia's Shadow. Character-driven cans opener. So you put it on the character. If this character would die, it stays in play with 1 wound. If it dies as a result of a duel. So you can make duels quite funnily. However, you cannot deny duels. Okay, it's going to be very fun when you play against Dweghoms. If an enemy character denies a duel from this character, then that character in the regiment gains -1 to the attack characteristic until the end of the game. Is it cumulative? Well, I guess at some point you're going to die, but okay. So you really make a, a big duel character. From what I know from the Dweghoms, it's not that impactful. The Aventine armor, Legion only now. You gain the Fallen Pantheon battlefield roll and 10 points. Sure, it allows you to get blessed, for example, in some supremacies and stuff. Imperial Upland, Legion only, okay. The Armor of the Living Saint. You gain Priest 1, okay. So you can make some anti-magic aura, which is the main boost, and you gain the Creed roll, okay. There are a few minor changes to stuff. Scoffnug, like +1 cleave and Linebreaker to your regiment is nice. Okay, it's still most of the same. Soul Reaper, new. Oh, last resort weapon. Please use it carefully. 10 points for your priest. When you declare clash action, this character may spend X dark power pool to add X to its attack characteristic. For your priest and spellcaster. It's very fun. Soul Reaper. But they have terrible attacks, do they not? They have 3 attacks or at Clash 1. I think it's hilarious. Okay. Don't you have a capacity somewhere up to make automatic success at some point? Maybe that's what you do. But yeah, it's very cute. Harvest of the Fallen, new, the Lost Arsenal. This character has +X to its attack characteristic, where X is the current tier. You can put it on everyone, so okay, it's nice, 30 points. And this thing, okay, Unholy Sacrament, you spend 1 dark power token and you gain Priest +3. The attack, new relics entirely. Grave Step, 10 points. Your regiment gets +X March, where X is equal to 1 if your dark power pool tier 1 or 2, and if you are above that, March +2. Idea behind it is reliably send your character Buken to fight or perform strategic retreat when necessary. Okay. No, but it's nice. It's nice. It's a good thing indeed for you, massive block. Kentar, the old ways. When the dark power. No, but this was still the same. Eternal discipline from the old ways. The regiment gains untouchable, and if this dark blessing is purchased by a fallen divinity, it gains untouchable instead. Guys, uh, maybe a mistake. Anyway, you basically get untouchable probably for both. Touchable is very good. On a fallen divinity, it's gonna be great. Okay, most of the other things changed. Sorry, stayed the same. 10 points. Okay. Something new. Strength and honor. They really have gladiator. What we did in life will echo in eternity. Big gladiator theme here. So strength and honor, we were saying. The character always dies fighting, and while while the regiment this character is currently attached to is inspired, it also loses the Brill special rule. Okay, it's cute. Not incredible, but sure. And you lose Brill. Good for your big block that you will send in the center of the table if you are going to make a big defensive block and you know you're going to get a flank charge. It's good. Okay, this is good. Still the same. What is this? The regiment that this character is attached to gains the Fallen Pantheon Battlefield role and the Bodyguard special role. Some people just want to play Legionnaires. It's for your priest, okay. They gain Bodyguards, okay. You can be chill about getting dueled, and you can put your higher deacon into those guys. Okay, nice. 5 points, sure. Small adjustment. The Ethernet. Okay, now we get to the big things. We already switched to not artifacts and stuff to the regiments. Athenatoi, let's put them on the screen. They used to have Tenacious One, which was very annoying. They lose this. However, they gain back Tenacious if they get shot at, which is most of the time. But okay, basically they lose their Tenacious when they're in melee and they're part of the Legion. Sure. Hashashin, gain Tenacious 1. Yeah, they were quite fragile. Tenacious 1 is going to make them annoying to deal with. No need to big nerfs. Let's remember that the whole army got nerfed. Cultists, the Creed. Okay, so they get a roll. The Haris, so the Centaurs. Haris are the shooting ones, right? Absolutely not. They're not the centaur. Oh my god, the centaurs are Caricus, and this is Caris. So the shooty version of the ghosts, what did happen to them? They shoot further. They lose irregular. That's good because irregular did mean. Wait, did they have irregular? Lose irregular, but they didn't have it, did they? I hope they don't mean they lose formation. That would be very harsh for them. They lose that this regiment cannot be joined by the character stance. The hell? Okay, they completely changed the headers. You can now attach a character to this regiment. It's also a rare case of increasing range in this update. I hope we won't have to call Ghostbusters. Okay, so you lose irregular, which you didn't have it. So I'm really scared that you're gonna lose formation, guys. You can put a character inside and make some spells and stuff. You gain better range, which is gonna be needed now if you lose that. And your memories of old means that this regiment and excluding any attached characters may perform a free spellcasting action. Good that you cannot do give free spellcasting action on your character. Okay. Okay. They changed the role of the Harris to be less teleporting around. I mean, you saw the other variation before, but it's good. I think it's going to be interesting. The Legionnaires that cost increased to 110. Still a good deal. Memories of old, you gain +1. You count as +1 stand for the purpose of seizing your objectives. But it was before you counted as +2. Yeah, it was too cheap, too resilient, too scoring, something like that. Yeah, Legionnaires were way too like they were not strong, but they were so cheap for what they did, which was contesting middle objectives very early game, literally contesting like they were light, so they don't even score. No, they are a medium. What am I saying? I'm mixing up with something else. But yeah, they were just too good to just drop on an objective and be very annoying to deal with. They're still only defense 2 with a shield, and now they're brittle. So that's great. I think they're still very good. The Moroi, Aura of Death adjusted to 1%. Okay. Used to be Aura of Death 5, so now it's only Aura of Death 3, so they nerfed the Aura of Death of those Good little guys. Let's remember you can boost them. Translocation cannot disengage anymore. Yes. Thank you, goddamn. Translocation is a spell you could send on yourself very easily, allows you to teleport around. So they would just come to you, charge, make a spell, teleport behind you. It was impossible to lock them down, and then they just rear charge you, and you can rear charge them. They didn't care. Now they're brittle. I hope they're gonna become brittle. Maybe not. That would be sad. Uh, and now you can make a character join them and teleport around. Nice. They're still gonna get irregular. They don't have irregular, guys. What the hell are you talking about? I think it's loose formation, which would be a very fair trade. The Praetorian Guard, no change. They gain the Legion. Varangian Guard, no change. They gain the Legion. This sounds like nothing changed. I will just show you again, guys, the memory of old of this guy. The Praetorian Guard gained Bastion +1. So they are defense 2 with a shield, could be defense 4. These guys could be just unbreakable with a super high defense. Even from their flank, they used from the flank, they didn't care. Yeah, I have defense +2. So my defense is 4, even without the shield. You're flanking me, I don't care. Now, if you flank them, they're only going to be defense 3 at best, and they are gonna become brittle. Supposedly, those guys are supposed to get brittle. I think everybody gets brittle. Varangian Guard as well. They get cleave +1 and Linebreaker. Linebreaker is still gonna be the same, but not being able to have insane level of cleave. Used to be cleave 4 with Linebreaker. I mean, even my whole thing were crying. Uh, it's gonna be great to not have to deal with that anymore. The Bone Golems are part of the Creed now. They used to be Aura of Death 5 with Aura of Death +3 per Memory of Old, so can pile up. Now it's only per stand. Aura of Death value at 2 per stand, so it's 6 instead of 5 when you have a regiment of 3. Cute. And +1 per stand per Memory of Old. So it doesn't change much, actually. They still have even a little bit better Aura of Death, especially if you make big packs. So no nerfs detected there. Yes, nerf detected there. I just realized, but no, you cannot pile up the memories of old anymore on those guys as well. So yeah, interesting. Not as crazy. Someone said one of my favorite model of the change and mainstay option should help it with other heavy competitor. It's a mainstay. It's a mainstay, is it? Wait a second. Wait a second. Who has Bone Golem as a mainstay? Not the Archimandrite, not the Fallen Divinity. No one has it as a mainstay. Who has it as a mainstay? I need to know. My God, mainstay bone golems. That's gonna be insane. I maybe I missed it when we talked about characters, but okay. Very happy with that. God damn, Bucephaloi was so good. Attack character. Okay, it's less tanky. It's cheaper per stand, 70. This doesn't change much. It loses tenacious, which is huge on this big guy. Let me show you again those beautiful Minotaurs in armor. Still have brutal impact +1. They don't care much about not piling it up anymore. There were defense 3, no resolve with tenacious, pain to deal with, 6 wounds. So they are a bit weaker than in terms of wounds than the city states counterpart. And they gained um, +1 to their attacks at Cleave 3. Let's remember, Clash 4 when they attack. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I think they're absolutely gonna be fine. And I like that they removed Tenacious because on all Dominion it's just too much. They don't have morale. If you give them Tenacious everywhere, it was just annoying. The Carnivores changed a lot. They became mediums, which is good. They needed it. We didn't see them much. They were heavies. Now they're gonna be mediums. They're gonna be cheaper, 200 instead of 210. Adjusted memory of old. It used to be that you gain flawless strikes, which was good, cute. Oh my god, they lose blessed though. They do not have blessed anymore inbuilt. It's a memory of old. Okay. Competition in a heavy class was too heavy. Seems more like a nerf, but do not get fooled. Carnivores still provide massive value in Fallen Pantheon oriented list. Yeah, they can get blessed as well with some stuff. It does feel like a nerf. They do gain unstoppable, which is good. We do like rolling charges. They lose hardened 1, which is also very tough. They lose blessed. They gain it back from the memory roll, and they have no access to flawless strikes anymore. But they are medium. Okay, good. They're a little bit nerfed, which makes sense when they switch from heavy to medium. Bit cheaper. I think they're still very good. Caryatid range to 18 from 20. Good. Thank you guys. Those were oppressive. It's the shooty statues, the Caryatids. They used to be range 20, armor piercing 2, just annoying. And they cannot get barrage plus 5, I'm exaggerating, with the memories of old. The Centaur Catechus. They gain both Fallen Pantheon and Legion battlefield roll, which is interesting, and they get cheaper. Those are the melee centaurs, right? No, the shooty centaurs. Very happy with that. We didn't see them, and they're beautiful models. So just cheaper in general. Good. Cataphractoi from the Legion. They gained some evasion. No, they lose their 1 point of evasion. They got a bit more expensive, which is good. Hitarios got nerfed. I don't know where it's written. And they gain wedge, which means they gain, if I remember, +1 cleave when they charge, which is nice. But yeah, they were very strong. Lose evasion, uh, more expensive, and wedge. Okay. And the Hetarios got nerfed. We'll see that later. The Unhallowed Sepulchre got 20 points discount. It gains Terrifying 1. Aura of Death 6. How much was it? It didn't have anything, right? It didn't have Aura of Death, so it gains it straight. And defense 3 instead of defense 2. Good. It's going to make it more of a yeah, because you basically always took the character, the Theocrator, instead of the Unhallowed Sepulchre. Cheaper, better defense, Terrifying 1 is good. Exhortation of Faith, special draw event. You suffer 3 wounds, which is how it worked before. What can you choose? As an aura, friendly regiments command stand at +3 to their attack and gain cleave 1. So good for, well, it's still the same, but it's still good. They boost, yeah, they boosted the range. It goes from 8 inches to 12 inches. And when you consider the size of the base and the effect of the bubble, it's actually a huge change. Or you gain +6 stance towards seizing an objective, which is new. Yeah, it's new. Okay, you can really say like I want this objective. Or you gain an aura where enemies within 12 gain suffer -1 to their resolve. Very good when you can if you combine it with the Trial of Wills. Very good in general anyway. The Heteros, okay, the special officer, do not okay. You do not have full roll on your impact attack anymore for your little cataphractoi, 10 points, but it was full roll of impacts, and they have brutal impact. 2, they can have a lot of impacts. It used to be like 5 impacts per stand. Was way too strong. Now only rolling 6s. We do not know how much enduring terrain your guys are using, but on our table, this was just too much, especially with the current changes. Yeah, makes sense. So good. Profane Reliquary gains Aura of this 1 per stand, then it means, okay, so good for many things. Good. And the Dark Cenotaph still about the same. Some spells did anything change. Here, Hazlia's Touch. To heal, you need to choose Creed or Legion. You cannot have Fallen Pantheon anymore, it seems. Still the same. And if it does not, it just have X wounds with just the Dark Power Pool. Some rebalance, okay. Not crazy. Dark Immolation, they make Aura of this +1. And you give the Creed special rule. Interesting. Insanity using the lowest modify resolve characteristics. Uh, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. That's fine. Translocation, no more jumping out of combat. Thank you, thank you. And immolation +1 of this because it's per stand. Okay, very happy with the changes with the old dominion. They're going to be much more fun to play against, and I think they might be even more fun, like less stupidly powerful to play as. You actually care about positioning, it's good. Let's go for the Nords. Similarly to OD, Exiliarch, Theocrator, Moroi, Volva, Golter, and Fenrir list archetypes were the only options to successfully play this army. Yes, we've seen that. This changes today as we come up with supremacies that will open up a lot of possibilities. Okay. Army passive changed. What changed? Tribal tactics got a big change. Okay, let's see their sum up. They are now core of Mortal Exalted gameplay with Konungir and Jarl supremacies actively pushing them further. Prophecy Unfulfilled lost its restrictions. Yeah, the +2 charges, I think it was non-monster, now it's good. This does stack with the effects of Take the Flank tribal tactics, which when you charge on the rank, you can count as 4 to charge distance, so it's good. Basically, smaller Juggernaut. Such a huge buff comes with the price of losing blood of the Arnyar. Okay, that's a big change. Okay, you lose that. Let me just recheck, but it was when you got wounded, you hit harder, right? No, right. It was +1 to the contestation, to the capture of the objective when you make a charge, to be honest. I'm thinking of our Nords player. I don't think you ever remember this rule, so it's fine. And to gain +1 resolve after charge. Also, the kind of things that you always forget. Oh yeah, I made a charge and you counted to punch me. Oh, all right, I do have +1 resolve. This kind of thing you always forget. Um, Professional Field is nice. Ice, Flesh, and Blood is still the same. Let's check the new tribal tactics. Tribal tactics, as I remember, it's always active. Some people have it. Let's go to the Nords. Yeah, for example, the Jarl has it. The Kunungir has it. Used to be that you have either some bonus, you count as heavy for making wounds, it's cute. You gain opportunities, it's cute. Take the flanks. Enemies engaged on the flank do not count for capturing. It was not great. Remember when we first saw it, it was not great. Now it's always active. Friendly mortals and exalted and characters are affected by this. Multiple instances of the same tribal tactics do not stack. Makes sense. Uh, it's always active. Once per game, at the end of the supremacy phase, select a single tribal tactic, and then direct assault also gives you relentless blow. Draw them in also gives you tenacious +1, and take the flanks gives you this bonus to charge, but not insane. It's cute. Let's see what happens next. Ruler of Mannheim, which is for the Konungir, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. What is it now? Just to give you a little boost. You can use the activated part of the tribal tactics at the end of each supremacy phase, but you cannot choose the same tribal tactics as in the previous round. And your mortal and exalted cannot be shattered. And once per game, activated, all friendly regiments are affected by all tribal tactics. Okay, they got a big change, and our like that's good, good. So you do have this extra bonus all the time. You can switch between tenacious and relentless blow, one every 2 turns, or take the flank. It's good. I do like it. Driven by carnage. Who has this? Is it the Vargir Lord? No. Who is driven by carnage? Who is this? Real question. Okay, let's read. Maybe it's gonna be more clear later. Oh, I think it's a relic. Okay, they didn't specify that it's relics and stuff. Friendly half-bloods heal 1 wound for each enemy destroyed, and when you activate it until the end of the round, friendly half-blood regiments. I think it is the new supremacy capacity of the Jarl, I would say, or maybe the blooded. So you do heal when you kill people because you eat them, okay, and once per game, when your friendly half-blood regiments destroy one or more enemy regiments, you can make an out-of-combat reform and you double the healing. Okay, not insane. Red tactics. This is the Jarl. It's similar to the Connie, but in a different way. You can use the activated part of the tribal tactics 3 times during the game, but you must choose a different tribal tactic. You gain +1 to the reinforcements of your mortal and exalted. You cannot be shattered with your mortal and exalted, and once per game, mortal and exalted gain fearless juggernaut inspired. That is cute as well. Not super excited with that, but I wish tribal tactics you could use them every turn. There was no restriction, but it's still a good thing. It's still a good thing. Skywald, the shaman. We picture him as a lord of weather. Hope you will have as much fun with him as we had. Always active. You ignore water hindering perilous terrain and dangerous, okay? You can use the activated part of this supremacy twice per game to gain 1 of its effect. You cannot use the same effect twice. Okay, so you have 3 effects. Twice per game you can use, not the same. Activated. All regiments' barrage range is reduced by half. So if you have an enemy Shui army, you can really make sure that on turn 2 or 3, as you're charging in, you don't get shot. Nice. Or otherwise, target 1 enemy regiment, it suffers 5 wounds. Straight. It's like thunder. Okay, that's okay. Sure. Or all enemy regiments, -1 march and cannot reroll dice when they charge. So when you're really, so turn 1 probably you, or sorry, turn 2 or 3 as you're moving in, you get more defense or sometimes immune to enemy shooting attacks. And then when you're just looking at each other, you put the snowstorm, and it's like -1 march and cannot reroll. And for my Dweghoms, if you give me -1 march and cannot reroll, I don't charge you anymore. That's it. I'm March 4, and I count on my unstoppable. That's terrible for me, and you will have first charge. Or if you really need to, you can put the lightning, which is hilarious. Wild Beast. Please remind me who has this. Is it Vargir Lord? I guess it's the new capacity of the Vargir Lord. Always active. Friendly half-bloods may perform impact attacks when charging or through the in the ring. Okay. And once per game, they gain shock and fury. Nice. So they, you obliterate things when you charge them. Ignoring hindering should not be an upgrade as its power is army defining. We were considering leaving it without the activated part of the ability, but during testing it was proven not to work versus a lot of archetypes on its own. Hence you now gain a cool new tool to open any enemy with clever usage. Divine Protection. This is a Volva. It's from here. Volva had by far the strongest supremacy out of every warlord. Was it out of every warlord of the Nords? Uh, Hence we are leaving it mostly unchanged. All friendly regiment gain +1 to their evasion, okay, and once per game, you get a bonus to spells. You may target friendly regiments with the self capacities, which is still good. Okay, now the characters. The Blooded is cheaper. Its volley capacity is increased to 2, so it shoots a bit better. It loses forward force, that's a big nerf. It gains Slain bigger, okay, like the Dweghoms. And they added Ulfadnar and Berserks, so the elite infantry, like cultist infantry, I would say, is restricted. Bestial Devotion, you may attach to a friendly half-blood regardless of its class. So they opened the list building, but losing forward forces, not great. The Jarl also gains Slain bigger. I will just show you guys, like it gives you the Dwegom thing. You can make duels against monster, and you gain +3 to your evasion and fearless. Makes sense for the Nords to have this as well. Seizing a new future. All friendly Jotun regiments gain this. Okay, it's small adjustments. You still, it's for your Titan, or what is the name again? The Jotnar Seder, which is a cross capacity for your city states. Small adjustments. Okay, probably going to be about the same. I'm trying to not spend too much time, otherwise the video is too long. I think it's going to be like, yeah, it's for sure going to be more than 2 hours. Aye. Konungir volley characteristic increase to 3 from 2. It gains the screen bigger. You cannot have more than one Konungir. Small change. Some more opened list building. You gain a Holfednar for the Shaman, which is cute, and the High Nar as restricted. Very good. Vargir Lord. Okay, this guy was very powerful. It's cheaper, but it gets -1 wound, impactful for duels. It loses forward force, that's big. It loses Feral Hunter, which used to give flurry to your regiment, to the werewolves, in the warband. That is massive. You gain Slain bigger, sure. You have trolls being restricted, and you gain bestial devolution. This character may be attached to friendly half-blood regiments. That's what you had before, even though it is a brute. Like, okay, but okay, losing Feral Hunters is a big hit for this guy. Adjustments were necessary to put more powers into supremacies and upgrade, but yeah, impressive. Like it's well, the Vargialog was very, very strong. The Volva can now have Holfed Nars as a restricted, which is good. Some regiments update. Cost reduced from to 10 points from 30 during the reinforcements phase. If at least one of your regiment is currently engaged, select an additional regiment to automatically pass its reinforcements roll. Interesting. So you need to, okay, it's cheap flying for your heavy if you know how and when. So you need to keep engaged. It's a very interesting system. Did they have it before? Herald of the Storm, it's cheaper and they increase the range. So it was probably something not great. Herald of the Storm. Where is it? Is it a mastery? For Shaman and Volva, it gives, okay, +3 to scaling. Okay, it was terrible. 30 points it was. Still not amazing. Figurehead of the Navigard, Tenacious reduced to 2 from 3. Okay, Tenacious 2 is where we put our limit for this army. Makes sense. New thing for the tribal treasures, 10 points for your Shaman and Jarl. You gain Blood Sacrifice +1 March if you take 2 wounds. Does not seem much, but does it work? Cost increase to the Rhymeheart that gives you a hardened. Expensive but worth it. Yeah, 25 it was. Also include 40 points. You really start to think. Massive frame, cost reduced to 10. Okay, a little change. Mark of the Beast. It's an armor. The regiment gains half blood battlefield roll. Okay. Not insane. Some stuff get cheaper. I have no idea how to pronounce this. The Bloodthirster. It's a weapon. When you make a clash or duel before the roll, you may get yourself 3 wounds. So if your character, be careful, I guess you only can do this once most of the time, except if you have regeneration. You add, okay, up to 3 wounds, and you add this to your attack characteristic until the end of the action. if you know you're gonna die on a duel, just put +3. Yeah, you cannot choose to suffer a number of wounds that will destroy the character, and then you cannot deny a duel. Interesting. It really can make a powerful duelist character. Healing the Sky Piercer, Blooded Jarl or Konungir. You gain Sure Shot, and the character gains Barrage 5. Okay, it's a bow if you want to convert your character to have a nice bow. Very cute. Small adjustment there. It's something for the Shaman only, Teaching of Manhunt. Jotun Shepherd, or it's an aura, 5 points. Friendly Jotun gain Indomitable +2. That is massive. Indomitable, isn't it? But it's where you are immune to morale, like for X. Yeah. Wow. This is 5 points. This makes you want to have a Shaman just for that. But am I reading this right? It's an aura of 12 inches. Friendly Jotun within 12 gain Indomitable +2. For 5 points, it is also included. And I think it justifies bringing a Jotun just to mean that. Cautious Strike, Konungir or Jarl. 10 points. When a friendly Exalted regiment fails a charge, it may move up to its march characteristic instead of the roll result. So, okay, you control better. You don't have to push yourself. You can move up to your march tool to mitigate failing charge so you feel too lucky. Should you feel too lucky? Okay. So you make a 5 instead of a 6, you are not just jumping in front of the opponents. It's nice. I wish it was always like this. Yeah. What is this? Flank but better. Always active for the half blood. When you select a regiment to derive from reinforcements automatically this round, choose one additional friendly half blood regiment. Nice. How much is it? 30 points? Still worth it, I think, most of the time. Pack tactics reduced 30 points less. Goes from 40 to 10. Your local friend player is playing Monster Mash? Do not worry. Put that upgrade and a brick of a unit into your list. Always active. When a friendly cavalry or brutes half-blood regiment performs a clash action against enemy monster, gain support X, where X is the regiment's attack characteristic. So everybody can attack. You make a big pack. I'm sure you do that a lot. Maybe with, I don't know who does that. Maybe some Huskars. But yeah, it's going to be fun to play this. But it needs to be when a friendly cavalry or brute. So you need big packs of cavalry, big packs of brutes. Trolls, I guess? Still, 10 points. It's cute. Vicious Assault. Nords like charging. 15 points. The current regiment of the character, sorry, the regiment that the character is attached to gains Flurry. So Fury, not mixed with Flurry. Fury is +1 attack on the charge for 15 points. Very good. Retained Bones. It was 25 points. Now it's 5 points. You cannot be shattered. Nords do not like being shattered. Maybe for trolls, doesn't happen much to have huge bricks as Nords. Maybe Valkyries as well. Oh, I just thought of that. Yeah, Valkyries maybe. Promise of Flesh, something new. Half-bloods like to eat, meat in particular. You gain Vanguard 3 on the half-blood regiments of your character. Vanguard 3 is nice, especially if it allows you to capture an objective. The Berserks are cheaper. 10 points per regiment, 15 points per stand. That's good. Okay, maybe you start to want to make a big blocks indeed, especially with Berserks. If you can get support. Oh no, it's cavalry. Result characteristic goes to 5. Great. They gain the rage special rule. So when we've seen that. If you shoot at them, if they lose 1 wound, they get +1 clash, +1 attack. Savage cost has been reduced to half. Shield biter has been reduced. Also, very effective. However, they cannot march, charge, attack anymore. But it's a very, very good regiment still. And good that it cannot march, charge, attack. Less stupidly powerful and very annoying to deal with. The bow chosen are cheaper and they lose the War Brethren. What was the War Brethren rule? Didn't play with against them almost ever. War Brethren did give them tribal tactics. Okay. But they got cheaper, so I think it's a boost overall. Huskals gain Bastion 1. Nice. And the thing is a bit more expensive. So, okay, you do want to make a big block of Huskals now. Hardened 1 on guys that are defense 3 with a shield, with untouchable, so rolling 6s in defense, with a Thane that can give them Bastion 1 as well. So they can really go to defense 4 between Bastion 1 and the Thane. Okay, big block right here. Big block material. Raiders, the captain is cheaper, the shield biter is cheaper. The officer or in work, we'll see them later probably. Stalkers gained a Pathfinder. They were good already. Pathfinder goes good with them. You can play with Terrain a bit better. Still Chosen also lose access to tribal tactics, and their officers were changed. Or you can put a thing there. It's new. And what is their base defense to our little Steel Chosen? Defense of 2 only. So Bastion 1 gives them defense 3. It's nice. Not sure it's going to save them. Trolls gain Dread. Okay, the Blooded no longer grants it, but Trolls have base Dread. So the enemy can. Oh, they are super good as a annoying break to deal with because they have lots of wounds, regeneration, like lots of regeneration, and they gain Dread. So the enemy is less good at killing them. That's incredible. Love that for the Trolls. The Hulfednars, lots of things adjusted to what the army can offer. They're 20 points cheaper. They're now 150. Additional 10s are 15 points cheaper, same as Berserks. Better resolve 5. They're cultists. I'm calling them now. Less attacks, still 6 attacks per stand instead of 7. Still great. Lethal Demise is reduced to 3, so -1. It's fine. And they have this new rule where if they're joined by the shaman, they gain bodyguard, which is fine. And the same change for the officers as we have seen before. The ogres gain unstoppable, which is very nice. They lose shock, which will be too reliable with unstoppable on the side, and savage retaliation. So let's see, it's a new rule. Too oblivious to understand the concept of being charged, because yeah, they are oblivious. So when this regiment is charged in its front arc and is not in a terrain, with at least it simultaneously inflicts immediately impacts attack against charging regiment. And if an enemy regiment does not have impact attacks, you still perform yours. This is such a funny rule. So you have 2 impacts per stand with no brutal impact and stuff. You lose shock, yeah, and you are oblivious. And so you get charged, like you have a big block of ogres, and you make like 6 attacks, for example, from the front at Clash 3. That's that's hilarious. I love it. And okay, the ogres go both. You remember when I said like upper werewolves? Oh my God, the Valgir does not give a flurry to the werewolves. They just get it inbuilt now. They hit like a truck all the time. I mean, you always brought it with the Valgir Lord, but it means indeed they unlock the list building option to just have your werewolves not in a regiment of a Valgir Lord. The Fen Beast Pact. Oh, it's the boars, like the wild sanglier as we call it. Yeah, no, it's the wolf. It's the wolf. They got evasion. Okay, they got defense 2 and attack characteristic reduced to 5. That's what happens when you speak 3 hours in a row. So those guys are defense 2, which doesn't change a thing. They were evasion 2, okay, and -1 attack, which is fine. The Golter Beast Pack, which is the wild pigs, a bit more expensive, doesn't change much. They were still very good. Ice Jotnar are cheaper, 10 points, and they gain Unstoppable. Was overpriced, debatable, and failed to charge too many times. That's absolutely true. When you have something so expensive, you do want it to have Unstoppable. Mountain Jotnar, a volley characteristic at 2. Does it have? Wait a second. Doesn't have a shooting attack, the Mountain Jotnar. Does it now? It does not. What happens? Oh, again, the Hurl special rule. When this regiment performs a charge and fails to roll high enough to reach its target, you may shoot with barrage 1 and aim. What the hell? So okay, you make a charge, you fail. You do not have Unstoppable with this guy, do you? No. But if you fail your charge, and so you often want to charge, you make a one-shot, aimed shot. The target counts as being in range, but Mountain Jotnar does not count as being in effective range. Instead of rolling for defense, you suffer X wounds per successful hit, where X is the target's unmodified size. Mountain Jotuns are not for tossing tough. Must be anger issues. So okay, so there is a big block of like 9 Praetorian Guards. They get 9 hits. It's a nice consolation prize, and it's funny fluff rule. Now we get to the different officers. Apparently they were boosted. Raiders are in a rough spot despite great statistics. Captain can help them find their place in a well-managed raid. Okay, so the captain, you may use a resolve characteristic of a friendly character, which is great because raiders have a like 2 as a resolve. Yeah, they have resolve 2. So going up to resolve 4 is huge. You gain Vanguard 4, which is nice. What did it give before? +1 resolve. Now can be up to +2, but you need to be careful. Before the first reinforcement phase, you can choose to change the class to medium. So you don't come the first turn, but you can capture objectives. That might make them interesting, actually. Especially with Vanguard 4 to make sure that you capture objectives turn 2. Huh, that's fun. The Savage. The regiment may perform an additional clash action during activation. What? Additional? Does it allow you to make a second? That's insane. That is insane. If it's who has this? Who can have a Savage? Right now, you make a free additional charge, so you can move charge clash, and now it's I guess it's about the same still. If it's no, it doesn't say that it allows you to make a 2 clash accent like the previous supremacy of the Ziliarch. It's basically just about the same, just not a free charge, which you don't always want. It's a free clash, which is more helpful more often. Skull +1 resolve and bravery was about the same. Shield biter, your command stand may die fighting. Not insane, but it's 5 points. And Thane, before the first reinforcement phase, choose a single tribal tactics. You always under the effect of these tribal tactics. Okay, so you do not have Bastion +1 anymore. Okay, they changed the Thane. And tribal tactics that you can give permanently. Let's remember that if you have a Jarl and stuff, you can have a big bonus sometimes. You do have raid tactics. Sorry, tribal tactics is there. You can gain take the flank is not great. Opportunist, it's quite okay. And you count as heavy, it's fine. Not insane for the Thane, unfortunately. That's why they changed the price cost. And they changed the syntax for the spells. For anything changed massively? Apparently not. Okay, that's it for the Nords. Some nerfs, some big boosts, and yeah, some good rebalancing. I think it's going to be fine. I don't think tribal tactics are as good as they think it is. Maybe the playtest proved them right. I don't know. We'll see. We do have a Nord army, as you have seen now on for the channel. So we'll invite Valentin. We'll play a battle report soon to try that out. I'm very excited of playing against the North again. The ogres and the werewolves, and they open the list constructions. Everything seems more fun, and I don't think it's a huge boost. I don't think they needed it that much. They did need some boost. Excited to play against them again. And the last page, the last faction we're gonna cover today, and damn, it's been a huge video. So please, guys, give us a thumbs up if you like this. The Weavers, the latest army to ever have been released. Even my cat is now meowing. She's tired of me talking. Uh, we are aware of the Weavers' problems. Unfortunately, you will have to wait for a solution, as we want to make sure that we are giving you the best possible update to your beloved army, to be defined by Stavros. Okay, we'll see what they do for that. The Tau Sidye, Fearless Leaders, it's a new character unit. Uh, okay, let's go to the Weavers. Is it a new type of unit? I've literally never played against them. Okay, it's this character has been changed entirely. Well, the stat lines is the same. Its points cost is the same. Anything changed? Is there any? Okay, they didn't explain the intentions. Let's make a quick look. Probably there's going to be a bigger update of the Weavers later on. Here, nothing changed. Okay, they changed the list of the restricted. Depending on your court, one of the regiments there can be a mainstay, which is knight for your guy. For example, if your court of winter, okay, it's your basic thing for the winter. It's a Gemred Knights. Okay, that's nice. Okay, Gemred Lord has been renamed to the Winter Lord. Where is the Gemred Lord? Which one is it? The Boulder Fangs are a medium regiment, which is brand new. Okay, it's a little teaser they're giving us there. So the season can be adapted. It's 210 points, about the same as Steelforge. Defense 4, Resolve 3, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, good clash and volley. What does it have? Fly. Oh, it's a flying regiment. impact 3 and pick the quarry. So it's kind of like those flying guys, like the, where are they? The Kiatan. They have impact. We'll see when it's fully released. And the Galoglass Warriors, which is a heavy brute regiment, is still the same. Yes, point cost is still the same. They also fly. They do still have Mercy of the Reaper, and they have brute force, which they did have before. Yes, usually you compare to the clash characteristic of the enemy, and if you're better, you have +1 attack. And now it's about the same, but it's the unmodified highest clash characteristic. Okay, so not many changes for the Weaver Corps. I think they're still thinking about how to improve. Sorry if you're a Weaver Corps player, but probably they're gonna remake the whole army from the ground up. It did feel like it was a lot of hoops you need to jump through to get this army to work, and it seems to be just too difficult this whole timing when you have just brute force army like, I don't know, Yoroni or Old Dominion and stuff. They could just play easily. So either they're gonna make it easier to play, which I would like because they seem they're a beautiful army, but they seem very difficult to play. Or they're gonna make it still as difficult to play, but at least you're gonna get huge rewards if you play it right. We'll see how that goes. Are they gonna raise the ceiling or are they gonna raise the floor for this army? Let's make a little summary of the what we've learned. The 100 Kingdoms, we have some small buffs and nerfs. It's a little rebalancing, nothing huge. The Spires got like they got off like bandits. They should have got nerfs. They only got buffs almost, and it's very good for you, Spires players. I guess it's especially Avatar players. It's crazy. Dweghoms, a few boosts for Ardent, especially, which was never played, and some very deserved nerfs to the Tempered Force. Great. Nords, some good buffs left and right, and I think it's going to be a big rework of the Nords overall. I'm very excited to play against them again. Wadrums also some big changes, some nerfs to the annoying, crazy movement shenanigans for the dinosaurs, and boosts for the infantry and the basic core of your army. I'm very happy of that. And the new chosen cultists seem great. Old Dominion, probably the biggest change of all of everything we've seen. Uh, Too much to be said, but I think overall I'm very happy of what they did with the Old Dominion. It's not going to be just an army that ignores half of your roles. It's going to be more tactics to play with. They got some very good new capacities, and what was stupidly strong has been nerfed. Great. City states, they do deserve a full rework, but for now they just got boosts in characteristics and everything got cheaper, and they did nerf what was stupidly efficient, like the clockworks and the chariots, but most of the army got better. So good for city states; they really deserved. Sorcerer Kings, we were expecting a huge nerf. It was very sensitively made, less markers because that was annoying. The pigeons have been nerfed, as we are all very happy with it. And overall, I do like what happened to the Sorcerer Kings. Yoronis still seem very powerful, and they got little nerfs where they were deserved. Is it going to be enough? We don't know. We're going to check later on. And they did get some buffs as well on things that were underperforming. I'm very happy with that. And finally, the Weaver Courts almost no change. Like I didn't see many changes. I think they are thinking of what to change, and probably they're going to make a big full rework outside of this update soon. And they do deserve it, and we'll see when it is released. All right, guys, thank you guys for having watched all the way until the end. If you enjoy this type of video, thumbs up, subscribe, all the YouTube things. If you want to support the channel, we have the Love10 promo code for the Parabellum website. If you do that, thank you so much. We'll keep covering Conquest as always, and do expect some battle reports with Dweghoms, Nords, 100 Kingdoms now, Woodrunes, and maybe even some Euronis. They're getting painted as well. Well, too late, they've been nerfed, but still do expect them on the channel. Thank you guys. Until the next one, take care of yourself and remember to keep all things fair in love and war games. Bye.